Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is fucking talking shit with Eagle episode 374. Hopefully, you guys have had a great day. I know I've worked my ass off and I had a great day. Looking forward to hanging out and meeting this great guest in front of us. Twitch Extradics on Instagram. How you doing tonight? You want to tell us how you're doing and where we can find you?
Well, I'm doing all right. I can't complain. Wouldn't do me much good, but I do love to bitch. Uh, but we're out in Oklahoma right now. We were out in Colorado for a few years out there working, and now we're out here trying our hand at the market out here.
All right. The Oklahoma, man. What can I say?
Yeah,
What can I say about Oklahoma, man?
yeah.
It's
It's
it
just
it's the
leave it at that.
dream right now, isn't it?
Oh, is it? No, no, no. You're misinformed.
No.
Oh no, no. That nobody out here cares about quality. They all are on their quantity kick. They want the most for the least amount. How much can they get for $100? It's it's unfortunate. It is what it is. I mean, like I
Yeah,
said, I
that's
like to
not.
bitch.
Well, I'd rather hear it straight, to be honest with you. So, and then the truth hurts sometimes, and that's the truth, huh? So
I
be
mean,
it. To,
cost of entry is low, so therefore, and there's no cap on licenses. So everybody is everybody and their mom came, which I don't mind as long as there's I guess a market for quality. And there's a little bit of one out in Tulsa, but people still are just so low on the numbers. We're talking like $13 to $9 a gram on wholesale, like sauce and diamonds and stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. The only thing that's going for like actually worth your time and effort like is rosin.
well, that really is discouraging. Is it? Do you think just the because of the plant count, people are just taking that idea and just thinking volume, 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 volume with that unlimited
Uh,
plant count?
my my thinking on it is you got a bunch of farmers out here that have been, they're fifth generation farmers, and they got a crop now that they're flooded the market, but it's still worth more than corn. So fuck it, keep growing it.
What appeals to me about that unlimited plant count, and that's why it's like to me the wonderland right now. It's for somebody that likes ultimately to pheno hunt and collect strains. I wouldn't
Yes,
necessarily want that unlimited plant count for volume. I would want it just for as many strains and phenos as I could possibly hold. I was telling that yesterday to somebody. I said, if I went out there, it wouldn't be for me, it would be how many different strains I could run in pheno hunt. And then after that, maybe after I had 500 strains in my head in my kitchen there, then
geez,
maybe I would start to worry about running something
500, 500 is the
quantity.
number.
I would love to have it though. I would love a library that big. Yeah.
That's man, I pulled my hair out when we got to like 13 different strains in our veg room. We kept a healthy stock of moms, good variety.
Uh, so I guess let's start from the beginning. Well, we usually start from the beginning here. So what led you to cannabis? About when was your first time with cannabis? If you don't mind talking about
uh,
that.
I was about oh, I think 14 years old. Me and one of my buddies, Blake, back in the day, he was like, "You want to smoke some pot?" And I was like, "Yes, let's try this." He goes, "All right, the first time you're not going to get high." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "All right." So we went outside his house with this little aluminum foil pipe, and we smoked down a little bowl or whatever, and then we go inside. We wait about 15, 30 minutes. He goes, "Now are you ready to get high?" I was like, "Yes." And we went outside, got really lit. Like it was a good time. It was a good time. And then everything after that just seems real hazy.
Everything after that?
It just seems like it. I'm not sure if there's a coincidence or anything. Maybe puberty or something at the same time. I'm not sure.
So how long was it like was it a game on at that point, an everyday user? I know once I started, I didn't stop.
Just about like we went through that first bag that he got, and then we went to go get the next bag, and I was sitting there talking to the Hispanic gentleman that was selling us the marijuana. And he says, well, this much is 20. And he's like, well, this much is 60. And I'm like, wait. That's 20 and that's 60. Hey, you guys want to buy some weed? Yeah, I'll take the 60. And it was kind of downhill from there because, weed's expensive.
Yes, it is. So how long was it before you actually started to grow the plant?
My mom's been catching me trying to pop beans since I was like 15. Ever since I got a seed in a bag, I was, doing all sorts of like. I remember one time I had popped this little bean underneath. It was in the desk of my desk in my room somewhere, and like I kept like flipping the tap root up. Like, wait, you're supposed to be going up. Like, what the hell? Why aren't you going up? And it was the tap root coming out. Ultimately, that one did not live. But
Uh,
yeah, I didn't. I mean, I've always been, I guess, been growing it ever since I got the seeds, but being able to, I guess, sustain yourself, that happened about 24.
what was that grow like? Was obviously, I'm guessing, an indoor grow,
Oh
possibly?
yeah, it was in Texas. I started out doing grows out there. Um, it just, I guess, you had to be real low key, and we called it filling it to the gills. We'd go in, get a rental house, and fill it up every single bedroom with plants, and we'd live in the dining room or the living room. I
All
did that
right.
for about 5 years and said, well, let's go try our hand at Colorado. Colorado was fun. I miss Colorado. I should have never left.
Still, it sounds like you've had some fun in Colorado. So when did it go from grow to extracts?
When I did my first dab, like I was over at Mr. Gig's house, and it was this crazy contraption. It was a 14 bill glass on glass, I guess, adapter thing that went into this aluminum circular aluminum thing that then had vials that you could screw into it. And then so it went on to like glass on glass bong, and then you'd heat up this vial that you had your little bit of oil in it. And this stuff was green. It looked like it was probably what do they call it? Tain soap or whatever. And it tasted amazing. I was like, how do I get this? What is this? They're like, this is oil. I was like, how much is it? They're like, this much. I was like, how do I make it then? Because that's a high number. But yeah, I think that night I went home and ordered my first vacuum chamber, and off eBay. Thank you, good sir.
Right on.
Yeah, first vacuum chamber
So
and extraction tube.
I, I enjoy the fact that you would equate the cash right with it right from the get. Yeah, that's too much. I'm gonna start doing that shit myself.
I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't afford to smoke my own oil. Like it's like I've never been able to justify spending money on it. But that's why I guess I sold it so I didn't have to spend money on it or grew it or whatever.
Well, I think that's why a lot of us take it up. To be honest with you, that's why I took it up. Fucking the same reason why I took it up. To be honest with you, I just wasn't paying that shit no more. Be
Yeah, we
honest with
just
you, I
happened to
told this
smoke
story
so
quite a
much of
few.
it. No, continue.
Oh, I
We
was
just
gonna
smoked so
say,
much of it.
at that, please, sir, it's your hour.
You said I got more than an hour. You said I could stay on here as long as I wanted. Now you're limiting me.
You do get to say, oh no,
All right.
hell no, hell no. All right.
So the story you've told
Back
before.
when it, okay, all right. basically when I started, it was all cost, like you're saying, man. I was paying a couple $100 a zip, man. One zip a week, man. It's $800 a month, man. I was like, man, I've got to be able to do this, grow this shit for a lot cheaper. I don't care how much a month costs to run. It's got to be less than that. And it was.
What
It's been
when did you start growing?
1999, late 99, 2000.
Nice, nice. Do you
What a while.
do, what area geographically speaking, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I'm in Michigan.
Michigan, okay.
Michigan.
Did y'all say?
A little bit
Did y'all ever see
northern
any of that?
Michigan at that.
Did y'all see any of that BC bud that used to come down from what's that state north of us? Canada. It was like I don't know. We called it. It was
Yeah,
like generic bud. It was like standard dro or whatever. You would all look the same.
the
You could get like a
Beasters.
beasters. Yes, that's it. Beasters. All that stuff was horrible. I mean, it was good, but it was like looking back on it.
For what we had then, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But
Oh
for
yeah,
today's standards,
because right before that, I was smoking some swag, some brickweed, and so the beasters were great. Sometimes people would call them soups. Hey, can you put a tip on that? Is they get that extra $5 on you. Oh, where'd you go?
yeah. So, what were some of the first strains you started running when you got up and running there?
I think I used to have this Purple Widow. There's another one. I can't remember. It's been so long. Oh, Cotton Candy Kush and Purple Widow were the first seeds I ordered from Attitude. Oh, yeah. And I actually lost that Purple Widow to some Root Organics. I probably would have lost it for other reasons besides that, but I blame it on that Root Organics. I got this Root Organic soil or their soilless mix or whatever, and it was so hot. Like it was like extremely like not cool. Like the runoff on it was like 3.4. I was like, that's not cool. And like, because I noticed my roots weren't growing outside of the little ball that was there. I was like, what the fuck? And it was only the Purple Widow. All the other ones, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I don't like Root Organics.
So, what the setup look like, if you don't mind me asking? If that first good run in Colorado there.
Oh, the first good run in Colorado or the first good run in Texas?
Eh, Either. Texas was first. Let's roll with Texas.
Oh, it was a it was a 2,200 square foot house in the middle of suburbia hell, and I lived in the formal dining room, and every room was filled up with plants. It was a good day because that's back when, yeah, that was just good times. Colorado, that one was cool. It was a 2,800 square foot house, and then it was split. So I had 1,400 square foot upstairs and then 1,400 square foot basement, and we filled up the basement. I think we have 15 lights, flower, and then God, I can't remember how many T5s. We had a gang of T5s, probably like 10 of the 4-foot 8-bulb T5s for the veg side. Yeah, man, that was a sweet spot. Man, and so when I first moved in there, the first thing I did was I went and got the lattice, the wood lattice to put around my deck because you know houses in Colorado don't always come with air conditioning units, and when you got 3 of them, that kind of looks suspicious. So the first thing I did was put that around the deck or underneath the deck, and put 3 AC units underneath the deck. Good times, good
It's a
times.
hell of a joint. What's in that thing?
Oh, this is one of the, I guess, canagars that we roll up. It's it weighed a half ounce. I don't know. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. A bunch of oil, THCA, some keef, a lot of keef, some bubble hash, a lot of terps. It's pretty good.
It looks pretty good, man. Looks really good. Looks really good.
I don't know. I like it when it smokes like a cigar. You know, it's. I feel the effects more effectively. What are you smoking on there?
I am smoking on a little bit of Godiva, bred by the American one there. Pretty good, pretty good. Little earthy cheese to it, kind of fruity. It's pretty good, pretty good. Running a few different things over here.
So is that one big ass tent behind you?
No, no, that's two 4x8s
Okay.
together right there. Kind of sit in the middle of a U here. Sit in the middle of a U here, all tent city.
Does your tents have the metal or the plastic joints?
They have the metal.
I used to work at a hydroponics
They
store, and
wouldn't be able to.
we got a bunch of those that came back. We had a couple guys that got these 10x10s, and they hung, some raptors in there, like 4 raptors, and they brought us back this wad. Yeah, I armated. I was not dealing with that.
Yeah, it's not my first choice either. It's just when I moved up here, I had to downsize from rooms, which kind of really sucked, and to be able to keep my perpetual in the area that I'm in, tense is the only way I keep my perpetual going. So
Perpetual is
that's
tricky.
what it is. Yeah, it can be,
Uh,
but that's the only way for me.
well, yeah, like I can't budget for 2 months. I can budget for a month. I can do a month. I can't budget for 2 months.
Yeah. Well, I don't I harvest every month, so I'm only budgeting, you know, for- I
Yeah,
pull down
but
12 harvests a year.
excellent.
I don't know. So what
So I
led
do
you to the competition road, if you don't mind me asking?
the competition,
Yeah, yeah,
the
it
the
says here
cups.
that yeah, the
Oh,
extractors of the year, brother.
um, I mean, I don't know. I had to see. I was like, well, I mean, everybody says it's good. I mean, they could just be blowing smoke up my ass. I mean, who's gonna like? You're gonna tell the guy giving you free dabs, oh, this sucks. All these are horrible. No, you're gonna like kiss his ass and tell him, yeah, they're fire, dude. I mean, I don't know. So I figured, fuck it. So we threw our oil in, and 2017, I think we got like second and third in rosin, and then it was all kind of downhill from there. Yeah, like 2018 won. I think I can't remember, but overall best extracts. I don't know. We got like I don't know, probably about a dozen cups now. Like from
Pretty
extract
awesome,
artist
man.
showdowns and
It's pretty
stuff.
awesome.
I owe a lot of it, if not all of it, to my crew. I have a really good team, a really good team that have traveled 24 hours straight to North Carolina to help me on a consultation. I mean, they are my roll dogs. They get shit done.
That's awesome, man. It's nice when you can count on some good folks to be there for you.
Oh,
Shout
I
out
would
to
I
you for
would
giving them some credit, man.
I would not be able to do all the things that I've been able to do without them. Because there's times where like my girlfriend Angela, she runs she was doing the extracts in Colorado, and I was able to step away from the offsite in Colorado for 2 months and not even have to go there, and everything ran flawlessly. And I was like, awesome. And that's back when I had the rosin shop in Colorado. That was a lot of fun too.
So is that your main form of extract there, rosin currently?
Oh no, 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 no. We offer a wide variety of services and textures. Because I might not always know what the hype name is, but if you describe it to me, I can figure I can make it.
That's one thing I've never really been able to understand when it comes to the hydrocarbon side of things is how you what's it take to make the different textures? You know, is it
Oven
just
manipulation.
different, just manipulation?
Yep, oven manipulation. At least that's what I call it. I mean, it sounds kind of fancy, right? Is that even a thing? Oven manipulation? That sounds good, right?
It sounds like a thing. Sounds like a thing.
Okay, sounds like a thing. Cool.
So when you talk about that, are you basically, time it's in there, different times
Time, time,
of oven time?
time, time. How the rate that you speed up into a temperature if you're doing that. If you're just throwing it into a fucking really hot oven, or if you're throwing it into like a cold oven that's actually like right at room temperature and slowly building up. It's there's a lot of different variables.
So what would be your personal favorite texture?
I like making rocks. I really like making diamonds. I've recently have become uh, have been drawn towards washing and bubble doing bubble lately, just because they I put like I made these the last inventory that I made out here for Oklahoma. Like I put everything into them rocks. Like them, those were some pretty fucking rocks. Like I challenged anybody, like find me another container that looks like this in Oklahoma. Like please, because the clarity on it was just bar none. And they're offering me like $12 for it, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here! I'll sit on it for $12. Like I have no problem with that sitting in my inventory. That is not no, no. I'm good. I'm good. Just when you put a lot of pride into something, a lot of like I don't know, a lot of heart, a lot of like that had my all in it, and you just want to give me what? All right, no, I'm good. It's not for sale. But I've been getting into washing. It's been a lot of fun. I got a couple good farmers that I've been working with. One of them is Peyton Spatch. He brings some fucking fire, like fucking fire. Got this orange flambe that we did to his. We couldn't get shit to crash out of it. It's like this jar of water like terps. In fact, actually, that's what I'm hitting in this pin right here. It's really good shit. But I mean, of course, everybody says that, right? I mean, nobody's going to sit here and be like, "Oh, this joint is just average."
Well, in your case, the oil there looked pretty good in that pen, for sure.
I mean, it could. We're on video screens. I mean, you'd have to see it in person.
True. Ned Denver in chat would like to know what's your process for making diamonds out of rosin?
Out of rosin?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say without going into too much detail. I think they call it jar tech. You can look up on YouTube. There's a couple people. What's his name? God damn, I can't think of his name. And I should. I can't think of it, but he's got a really good video out there. I think even uh, Peer Pressured has a video on it as well. They're jar tech or whatever. Jars, ovens, all about oven manipulation.
So I'm curious about the bubble method myself. I like to make some bubbles. So do you prefer nice dry material or fresh frozen? How
Um,
do you prefer your material to start?
I dig fresh frozen. I really dig washing fresh frozen. I have recently played around with washing some dry stuff. Um, and one thing I'm definitely learning is not all strains wash the same. Uh, for instance, the Peyton's Patch guy, he had one strain that we did, and it washed like shit. I think we got like maybe a quarter off of this 1,300 grams that we of fresh frozen that we washed, and then we washed 1,200 grams of some GMO, and it pulled out like a couple ounces, and it was like wow, and that stuff was good. I mean, it would have been good just to sell it as the bubble because the bubble was fucking fire. But of course, nobody's going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, that bubble I made was all right. Sorry, I'm kind of a smart ass.
That's me actually. I think my bubble's all right. That's as far as I leave it right there.
Well,
I don't
I dug your.
necessarily.
I was
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, honestly, to see it be pressed into rosin. In my opinion, in the bubble in itself's a
when
good
it's
enough
that
extract. If you
good
done
that
done
good.
right, it can be full mil.
Oh, absolutely. And I've since learned that recently, and because yeah, I was just messing around with some bubble. I mean, because I don't have very much material. Um, oh, I don't have very much material to work with out here because I don't have um, a large enough facility to be playing with. But whenever I get clients that do have good material, they let me, do what I want with it. It's a lot of fun, and I've recently found that yeah, there's some really fucking badass bubble that can be made easily. Like, just takes a little patience, I guess, and good material. It's real easy when you have fire material. Like, extracting is really easy with fire material. It's not hard. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm so badass because I made this." It's like, yeah, well, your starting material was grade A, so I would hope that you made that.
Like, so
Growing, so you got to sit with it for way longer than us extractors. Growing, you got to sit there for like months. We're with it minutes. So, I mean, give or take what you're doing.
so do you do test wash before you actually run the bigger wash when you're washing material? Just kind of maybe pick up where you're catching some of that stuff.
I mean, I'm sure we will in the future when we come to big enough projects of that nature. But I don't know. We haven't necessarily come across a project yet that has, I guess, we thought a test wash was necessary when it wasn't just like, well, just throw it all in there. That's one wash, right? Yep. But I dug your bubble machine because I was looking over your posts and I saw that you had your modified bubble machine, the wash machine.
Yes, sir.
I liked your valve on the
Yeah, thanks.
that was like man, that's a good idea because this little hose I got, not little hose, but I got this 1 inch black 1 inch hose that hangs out the back of it. And when it gets cold, that hose gets real rigid. I just don't want it to like yanking on the rubber gasket that's underneath there, like, or the hose clamp that's holding on to the drain spot. I don't know. I've had a bad experience. Hose falls down, water everywhere, trikes, just like, oh, there's nothing you can do except look at it and go, fuck.
I've had that happen myself. Well, the reason I hard piped is honestly that reason is it was losing some on that flip down or it getting
Yep.
clogged. Oh, I hated the clog.
So do you don't run yours in
They I
bags?
don't know where you actually do you run it with loose material or do you run the
No,
bag?
I do a material bag. I put it in a work bag. Um, which I dig. I'm OCD. I like things being easy to clean, not very messy. And the bags definitely I don't know, help with that. I feel, and I've heard some people like Frenchie Cannolis said that it's speculated that you lose some stuff because you're not allowing the material to actually do the like this I don't know, centrifuge or this twirling or this certain kind of spinning when it's washing in the machine. And I don't know, I feel we did a couple side by sides, and I feel the loss, if any, was you know, fair to be able to not have to spend that much time cleaning it. Although I've only done it a couple times where I've had to clean it out, and I didn't like doing it any of those times. So material bag.
I don't run the bag myself. I don't run the bag myself.
That's
I've
why you
always
got clogs.
I'm right. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. That was back. I always got the clogs when I was running the 8-gallon machine and had the
Okay,
hose, that rigid hose
that
that you flip
that
down.
corrugated.
That I don't know what it was. The time that it took, or maybe the way it was coming out of the machine, but it always had clogged, and I always had to blow up into that hose and flip it back down real quick. But when I did the second machine, I hard piped everything, and instead of coming out, I do a little bit of plumbing, so I know plumbing a little bit.
Okay.
Instead of coming straight out and hitting a 90, which I know would slow things down immediately, I came out and went at 22 and a half, and then a slight angle, 22 and a half, and then out. So it's not
And only a
it's
plumber
more
would know
like
that
whoosh.
fitting exists. Because I
And
mean, no,
so
us muggles, we
I,
don't know that exists.
so it did, it eliminated, I've done plenty of washes in the machine since that modification, and it has yet to clog up. Never has clogged up since then.
See, I got mine. It's that 1-inch tube, but it's a 1-inch tube that goes straight to the drain hole, so it's like a straight shot. You better be ready with them bags because it comes quick.
There you go. Less cleaning, like I said, too, there. You got to worry about that hose getting dirty.
What's
So
how many bags set?
they're asking
How many
in
bags do you
chat.
use? All right.
Go ahead.
How many bags do you use on your
I use
5 or 8?
5.
Okay. I
Actually,
was just curious.
5. I use the 220, the 180, a 110, the 90, the 70, the 45. I don't use the 25. It's just too much work.
It is a bitch. I
Usually
want a
it just
45.
gets broken up shit in the 20.
Yeah, I want a 45.
I mean, it's nice. It catches more of the bigger stuff. 25, maybe if you see, I don't press. Maybe if I did press, I would maybe try to catch
25 is
some
usually
more
garbage.
25 because I know it's usually,
Now out here,
but again, if I was cleaning it up one more time, it's just more source material, I guess. But it's usually garbage. I agree with. Yeah, that's why I usually don't fuck with it.
so what I've noticed out here is so the people out here in Oklahoma, they're very much like the Cherokee. Nothing goes to waste. So the bad keef or the bubble that wouldn't press out very well, they just put that on their infused pre rolls. Oh yeah, this market is all about their pre rolls. Like uh, about their pre rolls. I've talked to shops that do $30,000 of sales a month in just pre rolls, 8,000 in regular flour. Yeah,
Wow,
madness. People, I'm not going to say what, but they like their pre rolls.
that surprises me, to be honest with you. That really, really surprises me for some reason.
It
I
it
guess
it is not like any other market. It definitely is not that.
they must use a better quality of material than they. Man, I you, I hate to say this, but most provisioning centers I've seen here in Michigan, there ain't no way I'd spend my hard-earned money on a pre-roll. No way. I've always disappointed. Every time I've tried one, it's like, what the? I'd be embarrassed to put my name on that almost every time.
Yeah.
So is that why it's more of an infused pre-roll market? That's why the
Oh
throwing the
yeah,
ball
because
balloon
like
on it.
you like, and then plus you spring a little keef on it, and man, I hope this doesn't blow up in my face. Oh, look, this guy's talking shit. Like you spring a little keef on it, put a little oil on it. What comes out of your what you actually are out by making it an infused joint versus regular pre-roll is minuscule in the markup that you get to put on it. Granted, I'm a processor. I hate selling stuff. Almost made it to where we have to sell everything for the farmers, and I'm not cool with it. I'm not at all. I'm engaging in like long-term relationships with some of these farmers that have lasted longer than some of the girlfriends I've had. It's not I don't want to be in a long-term relationship with some of these farmers, man. It's not cool. But enough about me. What about you?
Well, in my opinion, at least in the pre-roll market, at least you can help me figure this out as an extract artist. Uh, I always think it's more of a gimmick when I go in. I know it's a gimmick. I don't think it's a gimmick because if I were rolling the very same joint, I would want that oil and keef on the inside of the paper if I were going to put it in, not as a decorative piece.
You
Or
might
it's
be onto
when
something
you
there,
put it
sir.
on the if you put it on the outside, isn't it more like an incense? It's more just be burning up and going out to the air.
I
Don't you
have
want to like suck it through the joint? I don't
I
know.
have I have
I
I
don't.
have posed that exact same question. But you know, you can only tell somebody something so many times before you're just like, fuck it. If you don't care, I don't care. Um, yeah. People like to be helped. They just don't like you necessarily like telling them that they're wrong. If that makes sense.
Right on, right on. Well, I'm glad that we're on the same page like that because I've never been able to figure it
It
out
doesn't make any
myself. I
sense to me,
really
but
have.
if they'll like, I don't know. It all, it's a different market.
Uh, it's the bling market. I think that's what I would call that, the bling cannabis.
The blame
It looks
canvas.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So uh you you really like to press that hash into rosin, huh? Would
this
you
is
prefer
gonna
bubble
there.
hash into rosin or flour into rosin?
Um, we used to do a lot of flower rosin. Back when we first started up in like 2016, 2017, when I had the rosin shop. Uh, you know, I'll do whatever to the client's material that they want me to do to it. No gay stuff, but we can. It's their material, not mine. They want me to press it into rosin. I'll press it into rosin. They want me to, sift it. We'll sift it. Blast it. We'll blast it.
So do you take basically it sounds like that you'll walk you would that was a question in chat as well. Is if you they were asking if you did process like caregiver material and they were asking
Actually,
where you were at in Oklahoma.
actually, yes. There was a law that just recently passed, like recently, that allows processors to process for patients and caregivers that have valid Oklahoma medical card, which everybody knows Oklahoma allows out of state residents to get their medical card in Oklahoma. So technically, I can process for anybody. Yeah, we're going to be shifting to that versus processing for shops and farms. There's just we're small batch. We like to craft. We got Apothecary and White Moose and a lot of big names out here. But I mean, I'll throw my extracts in the ring. Like, I mean, we'll see how this Jack Herrera Cup goes. I mean, hey, we could all blow up in our face. Who knows?
was just getting ready to ask you if you were going to be there.
Yes, yeah, we entered a couple different entries with the farmers that provided the material. One of them is the paid dispatch guy. His what was it? His peach pie, and what else did he do? It was the sour diesel, or I'm not 100%. And then the other one was Sublime Farms, and then we did the hash coin that we had.
So, what are the Oklahoma events? Are you expecting a pretty big crowd out there this year for this event anyway?
I have, I mean, this one seems like it's going to be pretty big. It seems like they got approval for across the board from the city and whatnot in the state. So it doesn't seem like they're going to get, because I mean, in Colorado, we had to be so secretive about the cups. Like, you didn't get to know the date, or not the date. You didn't get to know the location until the day of the event, and it all seemed real super sketch, but it all worked out. Um, but out here it seems like it's gonna be a pretty big event. They've got a lot of competitors, a lot of people that have entered. A little intimidating. We shall see though.
What about as far as like open to the public? I mean, is it gonna be? They
No, we
expecting like
can't
a
get
big crowd?
nobody's allowed to share weed with anybody. You have to bring and smoke your own.
As long as we come party.
Yeah.
I personally think it's a waste, but hey, if we come and party, that's all that matters. I mean, people need that shit right now. People need to just get out and hang and be in the cannabis community, man. It's cabin fever, man. It's time to get
Yeah.
out, get some fresh
Yeah.
air, cannabis fresh air.
How are they with the masks up there in Michigan?
Terrible, terrible, terrible. Depends on
God,
what
that
city
sucks,
you're in, I guess.
man. That's unfortunate. Yeah, because like I was really I this whole mask thing really pissed me off. I'm like, you can't do that. We have oh yeah, we don't have rights. That's right. My bad. We were completely stripped of those. But yeah, no, it really that whole yeah, it kind of irked me. But down here in Oklahoma, they're normal. They don't care. They're like, oh yeah, workers not wearing masks. Haven't been for months. Like it's like well, I went to the city, the town that I'm in. They're meeting for our certificate of compliance to see if the city board or whatever was going to approve us, and none of them have masks on. It all says on the outside like masks are required, and they got the Perella sitting there, and nobody's wearing a mask. It's very refreshing.
We've been kind of lenient around here as well, but like I said, it varies from like place to place. I've noticed like downstate, in my opinion, is oddly enough, man. I pass through like Flint quite a bit, uh, and you would think that I would think because I've been from there, I've lived there, that Flint would be one of those towns where they've got that attitude where it'd be like, fuck that, man. I'm wearing a mask. You tell me what to do. But no, oddly enough, Flint's like crazy about that mask, man. Everybody
I
thinks
figure
they
you
look
you
these
could
guys
light your
out.
water on fire. You don't need a mask. You're good.
So I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah.
Hey,
Uh,
hey,
but
I
yeah,
mean,
you come up
yeah,
north here a little bit more, and it's a lot more lenient, and people aren't wearing them. And last year, when I went to cannabis events, man, people were a lot relaxed about wearing them, which was a relief, huge relief. And that's one of the best benefits because it was like peak peak stress. You know what I mean? At them
mm.
points last year, and it was so nice to just go fucking hang out with people and be normal. You know what I mean? It was so
so
nice for a weekend of normal.
so did it seem like there were any big COVID-19 like you know outbreaks in the cannabis community, because I mean, we're all sitting around passing joints, passing bongs, and like it didn't seem like anybody really, like, I don't know, got COVID that really smokes a lot of pot. I mean, I'm a hermit that sits in my lab 99% of the time, so I don't really associate with any other people. Plus, I'm kind of an asshole. So
I smoke. I still. People probably don't want
I'm.
to hear this, but we're still passing joints.
I mean, I was
I'm
trying to
not.
get COVID.
I wouldn't say I was trying to get it, but
Oh
I'm
no,
not.
I've come on, come on. I think it, like, because my theory, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. Oh, but 10 years ago I was crazy, but now my dad has to tell me, "Oh shit, you were right, son." But I think, like, because I think the area, the people that I were around, we all got it like in like October, before the everybody started freaking out about COVID. Like, because there's in October I got sick and I was down for like 10 days and it was bad, but I got over it. You know, I understand some people have, pre-existing health problems that make them more susceptible to COVID and aren't necessarily have their immune systems up that can. This is me trying to be sensitive. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some. I mean, we're having some 420 events here in Michigan. 417. There's a few events, and I know the following weekend there's a few open events. So, and I'm hoping when I show up that I'm not asked to pull one on because
Yeah, it's
I
like, but
hate to just
I'm
sit.
consuming.
Yeah, I mean, how do
They
you
tell
smoke
you
with a mask on?
exactly. You can take it off to drink or eat when you come to the restaurant, but when you walk in the door, you have to wear your mask. Talk to the hostess, you got to wear your mask. But as soon as you sit down, you can take it off. Like, yeah, like I don't know. I saw one. It was in college, and they had the band, and they were playing their instruments through their masks. Like, this just makes it like they had holes in the masks for the tips of their instruments to go through, and then they still weren't like. Am I the only one that thought that was fucking retarded? Because
Oh
they're
no,
blowing
man!
air like.
I just came from my daughter's head of choir concert they've been putting off uh, last week, and they were all wearing masks. It was all muffled.
For singing.
It's
For
for singing.
singing.
Yeah,
God.
they were all 6 feet apart, and I mean,
Oh
it
my
was. They
God.
even had it spaced. They were only allowed to have two selected people come watch them, and then they had it
That is
spaced out in
that's
the crowds.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's just like, and the thing that scares me is the number of people
It was
driving
awkward.
around in their cars wearing masks. And then you
I
see
seen a
how,
lady
like,
in the drive-through the other day. She was getting drive-through food. She had her mask on in her car, and I shit you not, she had a cigarette dangling outside the mask, and all you could see was
oh,
smoke come rolling out the mask. I'm like, take it
wow.
off, lady. Take it
Wow.
off. For
Nope.
the
She's
love of
she's
God,
trying to
you're killing yourself.
she's on the express line. Wow. Wow. That's like the people that get the stoma, they get that the tracheotomy or whatever, and they smoke cigarettes through the hole in their neck. That's some hardcore. I mean, that's real hardcore.
Yeah, I couldn't. I chuckled. I shit you not. I fucking just laughed out loud behind me. I couldn't help it. I just couldn't help it.
You literally
It
LOL'd.
was, yeah, I literally did. It was fun too. It was like coming outside of the mask, just like you can picture it, man. Just come floating right up. It was probably all just like brown face underneath it from all the tar. It had to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I just can't
Couldn't have
imagine.
been
That's
that
like
first cigarette.
their house does not smell good. I mean,
Oh man, it's just
am I the only person that thinks of retarded shit like that? When I'm like, oh, that car's ruined.
I it was too funny. I just don't lost for words. What some people will do. So, do you plan on doing some traveling this year, or you just keeping your
No,
feet
I
down
work.
and
I
yeah,
work. Yeah, no,
rock
I'm
that,
I'm
man.
we're kind of in grind mode right now. The made a gamble and to come out here, and well, we're gonna have to play this hand we got. Uh, I'm looking forward to the to what comes with this new law, being able to process for caregivers and patients, because no other state allows processors to process, medical license holding processors to process for the people. Like that's never been a thing to my knowledge. If that is in other states and I'm not aware of it, cool, whatever. But this state, Colorado, I couldn't do it. And the way that I got around doing it was when it went rec, I opened up my shop and I was allowed to process for anybody 21 and over, because I was doing solventless extracts. I wasn't doing solvent extracts. Uh, and so I didn't have to have a license for that. Although I did get a lot of harassment from the fire inspector. A couple choice words about her, but that's not here nor there.
Um, that's So, are you looking to expand then? I mean, hell, that's a heavy market, because even here in Michigan, it's hard to find a good extractor that I could just take my shit to. Not worry about it. But it'd be nice if we had an option like that. Because, I don't mind washing my bubble, but man, it builds up until I have to. And
Yeah,
sometimes I'd like other forms, I wouldn't mind it pressed into rosin or whatever, but so I would see you being busy as shit with that
I mean,
with that door being open.
so I we hope so. That's how we operated when we were in Colorado. In Colorado, we were freelancers. We working out of undisclosed locations because they changed some. Yeah, we'll not go into all those details, but yeah. So it was uh, it was pretty interesting. We worked on referrals only, um, and well, you had to know somebody to get a referral. But we stayed pretty busy. I mean, we still stay pretty busy up there.
So do you have like a minimum?
Nope, we're not biased or
No.
prejudiced. No order big, too small. We just have different rates because what you want to come out and what is actually going to come out might be two completely different things. Um, but like we're I guess you call it a toll based extractor. We don't do splits. We don't do any of that crap. Just because like then I have to sell oil and I don't want to sell oil. I a service provider. Um, and the whole buyback thing? I don't like that phrase either, because that implies that I own it, and I don't ever own it because it's your material. I'm just merely performing a service on it, and I give it back to you, and then you pay me a fee for the service, not for to buy the oil back. That's ridiculous. But it baseline starts out at like $6. Um, and if you bring us, over 10 pounds, it goes down. If it yields over 12.5%, it goes down again. But on the flip side, if it yields less than 6.99%, it goes up by $2. And if it yields less than 4.99%, another $2. And if we're at 3.99%, you probably don't want me processing it. We generally do test runs on any questionable material or any material that clients, request a test run done on it. We have a myriad of different size columns to where we can, we don't have to have a minimum of 5 pounds to be able to process stuff for people. We've processed ounces, 1 ounces for people. Hell, we've pressed single grams for people. You got to do those little jobs to get to the big ones. Because yeah, you can sit there and like shit on people and be like, no, I'm not pressing your fucking little, that's a little weight. I don't fuck with that. It's like, but best believe I've done like like more than a dozen fucking clients have come and brought me like, a quarter pound or half pound, and I process it. And a week later, they bring me 20. So, I mean, it is what it is. You just gotta, just gotta do the work.
Right. I I'm impressed by the attitude, honestly. A lot of people, like you said, won't fuck with little shit. They've got their minimums. And,
Oh yeah, no,
I
no, it's
appreciate the fact that, you do build clientele like that, taking on the little guys. So, shout
oh
out
yeah,
to
and
you. It's fucking awesome.
hopefully the demographic that I that's what we're gonna be shooting for this next quarter. Um, see how this Jack Herrera Cup goes. Um, and then yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We got the property, so we're here. License is still good till what's it, beginning of next year. So we're just gonna send it.
So, you don't plan on producing your own material at all in the future? Just sticking
Not
to,
necessarily. Oh, I will for like myself or R&D work, but not for the white. Not for uh not yeah. No, they don't deserve it. No offense, Oklahoma, but like when I make my rocks, I like my rocks from my stuff. Like yeah, no, sorry. I've had people ask me, they're like, well, what do I got to do to get these things? I'm like, spend more money. I was like, that takes me a lot of time and effort to like thought to be able to do that. I mean, it's like, especially when I had to remediate crap. Uh, it's I don't know. Maybe call me prideful. Pride is a thick broth to swim in. Whatever. I had someone say I was egotistical, but I think they were referring to something else. Um, but yeah, I take pride in my work. I have no problem letting jars sit on inventory and not moving, just because like I mean, when I process for other farmers, I'd put the same quality into it, but that's their stuff. If they want to sell it for $9 a gram, by all means, they'll sell it for $9 a gram. That's not my stuff, though.
do you ever turn material away
Yes,
because of the way it looks?
absolutely.
Like,
And it's actually hard for us to turn stuff away. There's a lot of the freelance extractors that were out in Colorado. They only accepted fresh frozen like choice stuff. Like they only like you know a Diamond Baron or TNT extracts. The big guys, the guys that were like fucking. I hear they're still making diamonds, but they made some fucking rocks. But they only, from what I heard, they only accepted like good fresh frozen like nugs. We A lot of our stuff's dry machine trim. Like yeah, a lot of the stuff we run is dry trim and dry machine trim. Like all the diamonds and stuff, a lot of it's dry machine trim. Like the most recent one that's on my post or on my Instagram, that the flashlight with all the big loose diamonds in the jar, that's dry machine trim off a Triminator. Get a Triminator, folks. Twister sucks. Terminator's where it's at.
still hand trimming over here, my friend. Still
Oh yeah,
hand trimming.
yeah. I mean, I don't like machine trims myself personally. Like I said, I've got a crew, and they are cross trained and they are utility players. Some of them have been with me for 6, 7 years. When 2013, 14, yeah, like 6 or 7 years now. So they're well seasoned um, utility players.
My eyes, you're doing something right. You got employees hanging around for 7 years. Employees,
I think
teammates, I
it's
should
I think
say.
it's the free
Better
weed.
term.
I think it's the perks of the job. I don't know because you know I'm not easy to get along with. I'm not like I know this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, oh, I'm the best person to work with. No, I can be really cantankerous sometimes and just completely unreasonable. But I don't know. I guess they stick around for some reason.
So the reason why I asked is because it seemed like in Michigan here, like the last few years with the extreme testing that's been going on here in Michigan, it seems like the extracts industry's been had the extreme push from trying to clean up uh, bullshit. Uh,
Really, that much bullshit to where it's like causing them problems?
yeah, Yeah, PM weed, shit like that. That shit that's been
PM.
rejected from the legal market. They send it to the extractors to clean up through the hydrocarbon
Oh yeah,
process.
yeah.
It's that I can't. So that's what I'm getting at. There's been a lot of testing that's a lot of cannabis that's failed testing, and it seems like
Uh-huh.
that's where it goes is
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
straight to
that's
the
where it go.
extractor there.
That's where
So
it
that's
goes
why
out
I
here
asked if
too.
you ever. Yeah, that's why I kind of asked if there was material if you turned away material
We turn it
on
down because of low
that kind of
yields.
basis. Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, because like I said, I'm a service provider. We'll process the material, and like for the the instance of the white market working under OMA and stuff, we have to get stuff tested and whatnot. We're not pushing out any questionable material, because the last thing I want after working for this the reputation of the company for so long is to have a faux pas of some dirty extracts getting out, and it came from Twitch. Like that's not what I need. That would that's not cool. That's would not be that'd be some real fucking pain in the ass PR work right there. But so we definitely make sure that it like we're up to standards when it comes to that, because I'm not fucking with Johnny Law and Big Brother. There's waiting to kick my ass. But if a client brings me material and I process it and give it back to him, like I'm processing for the client. That's talk to that guy.
All right.
But it does remediate mold. We have done actually a lot of testing. Not Yeah, a lot of testing paid for. It sucks. It's expensive as fuck. But well, a lot of the because we have one farmer we're working with where his crop was hitting for mold, just regular, I guess regular mold. I don't know, but we've blasted it, and we even washed it and did that jar tech or whatever that I was referring to earlier with the rosin, and it remediated the mold out of the rosin and the hydrocarbon, which I was pleasantly surprised.
So do you see yourself more in the future washing the bubble to and producing more rosin, or do you see yourself, 50-50 with the hydrocarbon?
I mean,
Uh,
I would like to move more towards the I guess the bubble and the rosin, just because the market out here um, is and that sounds almost greedy, but I got to keep the lights on, because yeah, it's getting rough. It's getting real rough. It's hard out here for a pot farmer. But the towards the rosin, just because the wholesale on it's so much higher. Like we're talking, $35 to $45 a gram wholesale on rosin, where it's $9 and $13 for diamonds. That's
really?
absurd. It's madness. It's lower here than anywhere else. Like you go to Cali and they're 25-30 wholesale. At least that's what I've been told. Colorado, it's. I mean, I don't have any shops in these states, and I'm not buying wholesale. This is just hearsay.
Seems like it would be just the opposite. The young emerging market in Oklahoma seems like they would still be on kind of rise up on prices. That
They
seems to
have
be the trend.
they don't know what it is.
No?
I was talking to one shop owner, and I was like, so I was asking about their CRC, and they're like, we don't have CRC. I was like, what do you mean you don't have CRC? I was like, that's CRC right there. They're like, oh, it is. They don't have to, they don't have to disclose, I guess, what it is. Like, it's it's very um, almost shady in a sense, and it's like, damn, what like distillate? They love their distillate pins out here. Cannot get them to get into some HTSFE, the high terpene full spectrum extract. The badass terp fractions that come off of the rocks or whatever. Like the good shit, the stuff that the distillate guys want to flavor their pins with. They love their $15 carts out here. And the first thing they say, oh, well, I can get a gram for this much. Can you do a gram of it? It's like, no, this is terps. Yeah, these got terps as well. And it's like, no, these are terps. They're like, yeah, see, look, tests. I'm like, oh my God, I'm out.
Oh, man. I love terps, but I don't think people understand exactly how they affect them, to be honest with you, in
I
the
mean, it's
individual terp.
Well, it's not an individual terp. It's a high terpene full spectrum extract. It still has THCA, it's THC, and all the other cannabinoids that are in it. And I've got test results. We can show you. They're cool. But it has a really high, terpene profile and content, and it's very I don't know. I dig it. I mean, I just could think that they're awesome, but I could be biased.
Well, to me, I'm talking about just terps and cannabis in general. I love the rich flavors, and when I think it depends in that I've always had here in Michigan, man, they're not so terpy anymore. They're not so terpy anymore.
Does it seem like that
Uh,
beaster weed, terps? I mean, is that what it seems like? Because it seems like it would be like almost mass produced in Michigan. No.
yeah, it's not good. It's not
See,
good.
I've
It
never
might
I've
as well
never
be.
feared RJ Reynolds and Marlboro or Walmart getting into cannabis, just because they will never be able to put the love and the care that farmers that we put into these plants. Like, these plants respond to that. Like, years ago I would have said that you was crazy, but no, I'm a firm believer that these plants do respond to that. And if you if you care for these plants, like, they will reward you with resinous buds. But if you're just doing a job, they're just going to do their job.
So, which are some of your personal favorites strains to run? Which are some of
High
the
pro-
ones that you actually like seeing coming to you right now?
uh, well, the high priority was one that was on our roster, and it was from 710 Genetics. We got it a long time ago. It was like the last thing we ordered from altitude or attitude. Um, we ordered like $360 in seeds, and the only one that was worth a damn was this one freebie feminized seed that was like one of the freebies, because attitude, they send you all the freebies. And it was this high priority, and we still have her to this day. That was like 7 years ago. Good stuff. And then after watching GMO, I was like, okay, that's cool. Everybody likes GMO. Cool. Yeah, I see why. Let's all watch GMO. Works for me. Gorilla Glue's always been a favorite. We got a really good Gorilla Glue pheno. She's caked. Mm. I miss growing my plants.
So, if Rec goes coast to coast, do you see yourself expanding at some point? Or are you gonna stay down there, stay in Oklahoma there? You think that expanding will ever be a thing anytime soon?
Uh, the first opportunity I get to go back to Colorado, I'm going.
Yeah,
Like, you're kidding, right? Like, we're talking about Oklahoma. If
I've never been to Oklahoma. Yeah,
you're not missing much. Sorry, guys from Oklahoma. My bad. Like, cost of entry. I've got family out here. All my family's out here. Um, I was originally born out in Texas, but after spending time in Colorado, I realized these places suck compared to Colorado. Like, the weather, no humidity. Do you know what humidity? Do you have humidity in Michigan?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Just
Some
imagine none
months.
of it. Like, no humidity. It's awesome for hash making. No humidity and making hash is awesome. Colorado is the best place to make hash. Oklahoma, not so much. All that moisture in the air, like, geez, the amount of, yeah, just taking stuff, moving stuff from freezer to freezer, or moving stuff out of the freezer, like, so much condensation. Like, trying to do jars, it's a fucking bitch. But yeah, I miss Colorado. If you couldn't tell, the weather's way nicer.
Every any chance of running two spots? I mean, heck, since you've got home base there going now, I mean, it only would make
Well,
sense to
home base
leave.
is actually in because I still have the offsite running in Colorado, so we expanded, I guess, into Oklahoma.
Nice. Okay. Nice. And congratulations. Then congratulations on that, brother.
Yeah. Thank you. Horrible decision. Hindsight's 2020, but it is what it is. I bitch a lot. Like I said, I like to bitch a lot. I'll get over it. I just gotta get the sand out of my vagina. I'll be okay.
Sound like a guy that just fucking likes to fucking do a lot of the work, man. Like I said, seems like you grind all the time, man. You put in the hours to, do the work to afford the steps to move up. You know what I mean? I can actually see, expanding and be prospering in both places with that type of attitude, to be honest with you.
Well, I ain't got no other choice. I
And
mean,
somebody says they never leave the lab, man. That says they're working 24 hours a day. They got the grind on the mind, man. That's there's only one way but up with that type of attitude. So good luck.
well, we'll see. What do they call that? How Bo talks about it. Projecting, positive thoughts. If you believe it, it'll happen.
Firm believer in that myself. So I'm glad they brought that up. A friend of mine, White Feather grows in Oklahoma. I'm growing in Oklahoma. I got an Oklahoma strain here, right behind me, as a matter of fact. The Tiger King.
That guy, man. Carol Baskin did it. I mean, he's not wrong. He may be higher than a motherfucker and not on weed, but Carol Baskin did it.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, White Feather grows. He actually lives in the same town, and them are the girls that see through that dirty lens there. But them are them bushes back there. Them are the Tiger Kings. I was actually impressed by the strain. I'm not even sure what the hell's in it, to be honest with you. But that thing's a beast. I actually threw it down just because of the name. He sent it to me with 2 strains. One of them was the Brandon Russ strain there, and the other one was his Tiger King. And I'm like, oh, that's just too funny. That's too funny. He's like, yeah, man,
that's good.
My hometown strain. He only lived like 2 miles up the road.
He was apparently not far from where I'm at. I'm in Shawnee, and apparently I knew so much about the Tiger King. I apparently he was like 30 or 45 minutes away from me. I got nothing.
That would have been something to at least visit that cat at least once to see what that shit was about, man.
Man, I remember being a kid. I remember being a kid and driving up because I was from Texas. I got family in Oklahoma. We'd drive back and forth, and I remember seeing the billboards for Exotic Joe's. Like, it was because there was Exotic Joe's. I remember seeing the billboards. Carol Baskin
actually
did
looking for. I can't wait to see what this strain's like, though, man. It's a beast. It's a beast, man.
Excellent.
Can't wait to see what it turns out like.
Excellent.
So, do you prefer when you're smoking? Do you prefer extracts? Do you smoke a little bit of flour? I mean, shit, you just had the whole fucking kitchen sink in that joint.
Yeah, well, no, I like my flour. I went like 2 years smoking dabs, nothing but dabs straight, and I it seems almost a little pretentious, but I only smoke my flour. If I'm actually smoking, like, ask another grower for their flour or like to buy some of their flour, like, because I've squirreled away enough flower to last for a while, and I'm just now getting through it all. And it's been a year since my last grow, but yeah, I like flower. I mean, I do smoke my extracts, but ain't nothing beats a good joint.
I agree with that. Man. I actually am not much of a dabber. I tried to take it down a little bit more this year. It went up. It went to a peak and then it kind of fizzled off, and then the flower came right back. Now it's still like a dab it once in a while.
Well, yeah, if you like
Mainly
when you
fun.
need the effects, it's like mainlining.
There's something about the smoking that joint, man. Sitting down, taking the time.
To roll it and
Process
do
on
all
it.
that. It's like a ritual almost.
I actually cracks me up to see some of the people that they it takes them longer to clean the rig than it does to actually do the dab. I've done smoked a whole joint and shit.
Oh, I know, right? Like, yeah, no, my banger is definitely a ches. Is it chesing? Whatever. It's fucked up. It's not a $400 eternal quartz banger with some ruby balls in there spinning around. I mean,
So
I
when you
definitely.
get your grow up, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, sir.
Oh, I mean, I definitely do appreciate the effort that a lot of people will put into when they'll smoke my dabs. Um, it's definitely appreciated, but not for me. Anyways, what were you saying?
Yeah, I mean it. Well, I was gonna ask you when you do get your grow fired back up, is there some strains that you're looking to put in your garden?
Oh man, just the same ones I had. I mean, there's a couple more that like GMO. There was another one. Oh, this orange flambe. I got some of that. Yeah, that orange flambe is fucking really good. I want to get some of that. Um, yeah, I really just want to run my HP again really bad. Like I really want to run that high priority. Like that's the bee's knees. That's the cat's meow.
Coming from somebody that's won enough extract words, I'm sure I can take that as gold.
I
I can
mean,
take
if
that
you
as gold.
well, thank you. If you actually look on the our page, we've got a couple of the high priority flats that we done. And it consistently yields like a neon yellow, like piss yellow fucking extract, like consistently. Um, Whereas like our purple polar bear that we got from Slaughter Genetics out there in Colorado Springs, uh, that stuff consistently it's darker like the GG4, and then our Critical Kush is like this orange, like an orange color. I don't know. I miss growing my
What
weed. I miss growing plants. It's been rough.
I don't blame you there. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, man. There's just something about spending some time with the ladies that is very, very therapeutical during the day, man.
Yes.
Time where you're just like, everybody needs that time. I hope you get it back
Yeah.
very soon, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'll get it back one way or another. I mean, I might not have the proper paperwork for it, but we're gonna get it back.
I
Um,
see that shit. It's fucking Oklahoma. They're gonna smell it. It's got to be everywhere.
oh, dude, like, so they start going on like I was at the city council meeting, right? And they were talking about the smell and stuff, and I'm like, what do you guys think? Like, really? Like, you drive into Colorado Springs as soon as you hit the World Arena or whatever, you smell weed. It's like, bam. Oh, okay, so this is what we're doing today, and we got pulled over. We were leaving a farm. It was out in Hendricks, way the hell out there, and like 2.5 hours away from my lab, and we drove. Me and couple of my staff, and then the farmer. We were leaving. It's like 12:30 at night. We're covered in weed because we just got done working in a field, and we get pulled over, and the cops like, I got to ask, so you guys got any marijuana on you? I was like, nope. I was like, it's on me, and I like showed him my hands. My hands are just covered in hash, and you can see he looks at us. We're all like tired. We're just we look miserable. We do not look like we've been smoking pot because we're all just like miserable. Just like, what? We want to go home. Yes, we smell like weed. No, there's none in the car. He ended up letting us go. I mean,
I was blessed not so long ago with a very kind of. I had some weed on me, but I was. He asked me if I had weed on me, and I told him, yeah. Actually, I was smoking when he passed me. Can't believe he did because he passed. I was like, oh shit. He all spun around. Go up, little Joe. The tail light. I'm like, shit.
tail light. Oh, so you saw my joint?
He said, well, I had fucking dirt in the back, bags of fucking cocoa in the back of the truck. You grow marijuana? Yeah.
Just a couple of them.
Shit. He says, you got any, is there any marijuana in the car? I'm like, yeah. He said, where's it at? I'm like, in my pocket. Okay. I had 3 garbage bags behind the seat. He's like, are those full of marijuana? I'm like, no, really? He's like, I said, you want to look? They're fucking blankets and shit. He's like, no. He went back and and I couldn't find the proof of insurance in that vehicle, and it wasn't insured. And I gave him my driver's license. He goes back, checks it, all that shit, and then he comes back after all that bullshit. Looks at me, he says, "You know your driver's license is expired?" I'm like, "What?" I didn't even know because I just had my birthday. I actually thought it was good for another year. And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah. Get that shit taken care of. Get that taillight fixed. Have a good night."
That's cool. That's cool.
No shit.
That's definitely cool. See, that's how I guess the medical states have been. I mean, I haven't. Yeah, I mean, once I hit 25, I quit harassing the cops anyway. So, and they quit harassing me, and maybe, it just. I don't know. I don't really, butt heads with them too much anymore. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. But I'm not 17 and dumb where I'll sit there and tell them they're a pig fucker to their face. I say it under my breath now when they're not looking.
You're sitting in the car.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah. Well, hey man, I think it's getting close to I was gonna say my bedtime, but in reality, I'm about to go in the lab and check on some slabs.
Right on. Can I get at least a couple more minutes of your time before you go?
Absolutely.
So I can
Absolutely. I mean, dude, I'll sit here and talk your ear off, to be completely honest. I just like hearing myself talk, I think.
Well, this is just part of the show.
No, you're good. I didn't know if you're trying to wrap. I didn't know if you're giving me some cues to where I needed to wrap it up. So, misinterpretation. You're good.
Well, no. You don't need to wrap it up. I mean, if you got stuff to do, that's cool. But basically, what I wanted to tell you before you go, if you have to go, is I do appreciate you coming on, and I greatly appreciate it because you came on. I don't know. Have you ever watched the show? I actually. No.
No, I have not. I mean, I did
sometime, bro.
I did after you had sent me the DM. I was like, see what this is about. All right. Because I've done a couple other, like, back when I, like, once again when I had my rosin shop, I did a couple of like coffee and weeds and stuff like that, and so everything was always different. Although I think I definitely like the atmosphere of yours a little bit. I mean, not saying that coffee weeds or any of the other ones were not, but I can't say fucking shit tits on theirs, and I feel like I can on this one. I don't know.
Well, I believe. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
I see. I
Absolutely. I
don't.
encourage the use of the word fuck. By the way,
Oh, awesome!
for me, it's
Excellent,
a
excellent.
determined. I actually use it for everything. It's a term of endearment, and I've actually been guilty of. You know, you fuckers. I actually miss and say that sometimes in the wrong terms, and I have to go back and explain it. It just means I love
Yeah,
you.
it's like, god damn, it's, you gotta go back and explain. It's like, there's too many sensitive people. Calm down. Like, chill out.
But basically, this is the deal with the show is I do these spotlights with great folks like yourself, get to know people in the cannabis industry and what they're about, what they're doing, and how they got to where they are. And then, like I told you, the show goes from 11:30 to 4:20, and then when we don't go the full distance, then I fire up what is the second part of the show, which is now called the wormhole. It used to be the rabbit hole, but the term
Okay.
got to be like everywhere. When you buy a car and you see that fucking car everywhere? Well, that's kind of what happened with the rabbit hole, man. We named the rabbit hole, and then that rabbit hole was everywhere. So we had an evolution and it turned into the wormhole. But now it's the wormhole. In the
All
wormhole, it's
right.
basically opened up to all past guests. That
Okay.
Zoom number, that Zoom link I gave you is the same link that is always used for the wormhole. And
Okay.
anytime that you stumble on the channel and it's a wormhole, man. Sometimes I heard you say you like a conspiracy, man. We talk a fucking lot of conspiracy shit at some points. I mean, heavy conspiracy some nights.
I mean, I'm
In the
my
wormhole.
interest is peaked.
So some nights we might be talking growing, some nights we'd be talking extracts. Sometimes it might lead into extracts. Sometimes we might be talking psychedelics. Sometimes we might be talking psychedelics on psychedelics. So,
Speaking of which,
uh,
I've got some paper, and I probably should eat some. It sounds really good. I mean,
see, sounds like you may join in some night. So if you ever do
I
want to, pop in and see something that you like, man, you don't need an invitation or nothing, man. You have the link, man. You know, feel free to pop on. And you were talking some conspiracy shit. You see the wormholes on, turn it on. We're deep in some shit that interests you. Pop on, man. Feed the fire. We love
definitely,
that shit, man.
I can definitely say that'll more than likely be happening in the future.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
no,
hope so.
I
I
dig it.
hope so.
I dig it. I dig the vibe and the energy that you were bringing to the show. So plus, like I said, I think I just might
And
just
then,
like hearing myself talk. So
no harm in that. So the other thing that if you gotta go, that I'd like to get from you is this crazy thing that I call the soundbite. So basically, the soundbite is your advertisement for this episode. So basically,
oh,
when people hear it, I want them to look back and go, "Man, that guy sounds pretty fucking cool, man. I gotta go back and check out that
I
episode."
don't know
So
about good.
basically, the key elements is what I'm looking here for is you can add whatever you want to it or after it. You can tag, shout out anybody, yourself, anything. You can say fuck as many times if you want. This is at least what I need in my words, not yours. Hey, this is Eagle, and I'm on fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 374. What comes before that, after that, I don't care. That's all your
So on.
words,
So
and
what is now? What are the words that I have to say?
you're on fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 374. That's the minimum I want. You can
I'm
add
on
whatever you
talk.
want to that
I'm on
shit.
talking shit with Eagle, episode 374.
Fucking talking shit.
Fucking talking shit. I gotta
Fucking
use the fucking. The
that's
fucks.
the
I missed the fucks.
emphasize the fucking
So
please.
so I'm
Fucking
on
talking shit.
I'm on fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 374, and this is Twitch with Twitch Extracts, and we piss excellence. And that's all I got. I'm not a creative person. I'm like, see, a lot of people are like, oh, it's extractor's choice. No, grower's choice, because I lack imagination. So they have to tell me what they want me to make for me to be able to make them stuff, because I lack imagination. Yeah. So, anyways. What was it again? I'm fucking talking shit with Eagle. This is episode 374. When do we start to go?
I'm ready when you are, my friend. Go.
Hey, I'm Twitch Extracts, and I'm fucking talking shit with Eagle on episode 374.
That'll do. That'll do,
Cool.
my friend.
Thank
you for your time, man. I greatly appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate you having me. I mean, like I said, I like hearing myself talking. Shit, somebody actually wants to sit down and listen or ask me questions. I mean, hey. So what's this wormhole? Let's. I mean, yeah. So what's with the wormhole? Let's check the wormhole out.
You want to jump in the wormhole?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around now since I don't have to focus as much. I feel.
Basically, we'd have to shut this episode down to get to the
All right.
wormhole. So,
all right. So I just go back to that link that I.
Yeah. Just as soon as this fires back up, come back up and hit the link.
All right.
Jump back in. I do that way, guy. I've fucked up enough. A few episodes, spotlight episodes, and I've come to respect my guests enough to where I don't want to do something stupid during their episode to where it gets taken down. So I've had a few episodes where I played music and shit and said shit at the end. So I learned. I'm gonna close this down so your episode stays protected, and then we get crazy in the wormhole. Whatever happens in the wormhole. Yeah. It makes it. If it don't, it don't. Right.
All right.
That way, the Twitch extracts episode gets saved. So, go ahead and get something to drink. Roll up in another one of those fatties, and we'll fucking fire up the wormhole in a second, man.
All right, man. See you there.
All right, man. For those of you guys that want to follow along the wormhole, you guys know the deal. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Those of you who don't, man, I appreciate your time hanging out this long. But we're going to have some fun in the wormhole. Hopefully, we'll see you there. If not, you guys know the deal. Please do something nice for somebody. Brandon Max kindness do save lives. I'll see you guys in a few minutes.